So, LACARI's situation. LACARI? LACARI's situation. Man, gotta say, most of you fucking experts, you finger pointing quick to accuse and label slimy motherfuckers out there. Damn, you dog piling pussy ass cowardly subhuman trash. You are scum. Absolutely spineless, brain dead, with herd mentality scum. Toxic crap that came out of a dead rat's asshole. That's exactly who you are. All of you. Probably even lesser. Let me tell you this. You absolute morons. This is not about whether LACARI got involved with some underage person IRL, because that's something that's not known. Yet. There's no information on that, and frankly, there probably never will be. But if there's going to be an actual investigation, and it seems like there's going to be, so be it. If he's guilty of some shit he did with someone who's underage, like physical contact or trying to solicit some underage person for sex or anything like, then yeah, absolutely, he does deserve to be punished, no doubt. But again, nobody has that information. So this is more about you motherfuckers, you bee-brain morons, yapping and barking about shit you don't know shit about. The sole fact that some of you fuckers have grouped LACARI with actual pedophiles, as if any of you detectives actually know that LACARI has done something, as if you have access to information about him hooking up with anyone underage or of any kind of activity that has to do with actual pedophilia. Jesus. And I know you don't have it. I know you don't have the information. Everybody knows you don't. Even you yourselves. You sad motherfucking losers. So why you yap, huh? Why the fuck do you open your stinking fly-ridden gaping holes you call mouths? I have a guess why. It's because your flimsy understanding of the situation doesn't permit you otherwise. You're failing to grasp that if X situation is not the same as Y situation, X is not the same as Y. But it's not as straightforward as that. It's exactly not as simple as you idiots think it is. Everyone confirm that. Can confirm that someone who's consuming jailbait content is not also someone who's a pedophile. Someone who verbally and physically sexually abuses minors. That is not necessarily someone who consumes that kind of content online. If anything, out of all of those, it's probably such a small percentage that it's laughable to even mention. Because your ex situation where X is jailbait content or teen content is just that. It's X. It's that content. It's the person consuming that kind of content. It's nothing else. It's nothing more than that or less than that. Unless, again, you have some information that he did something, which you don't. Either way, that doesn't point to someone being a pedophile. There's a huge difference between doing something with someone and consuming porn online. Overreaching, overreacting buffoons, the lot of you. You don't have the actual info of someone being a pedophile. So, why won't you just shut the fuck up about it? Because the reality is that you lot behaving like this and pointing fingers safely online. Damn. Outside, out there, IRL. This shit doesn't fly. You get into a hospital for that kind of behavior, especially without actual proof to support it. So to be frank, that's what most of you fake detectives out there deserve. Hospital. Yeah. Some hospital time. On a hospital bed. Maybe worse. Anyway, I'm actually not done. It's not over yet, but I did address those who have put LACARI in the same boat with actual pedophiles. You guys are fucking crazy. Either way, the other part of the dogpiling community, those finger-pointing, fake expert scum, are not that much better than the first part of this group. Most of you, other motherfuckers, base your accusations on the fact that LACARI, without any doubt, has content on his PC, or maybe he just consumes content that is specifically jailbait and or teen porn online. Well, either way, I get it. I get it. It seems like there's no misunderstanding. Case closed. Nothing to second guess and nothing to think about. It's as if LACARI is, guilty. Which is only the case for you fuckers because your level of understanding is so surface level that calling it surface level is laughable at best. It's like talking about the weather surrounding the tip of the iceberg. What you scrubs misunderstand is that jailbait content is being consumed left and right and by most of you fuckers anyways. You know all those anime where characters look like they're teens, but they're supposedly already 20 years old? You know all those anime where female students in school uniforms are flashing their panties every other episode, besides also getting into some clumsy or accidental situations where they end up in some sex poses? You know all those anime, and not only anime, where an underage person, doesn't have to be female, is, let's say, 1,000-year-old dragon that obviously had a lot of life experience, all kinds of experience, despite its human form looks. You know all those games like gacha games or Asian games or all kinds of other games with miniature female characters or just characters that appear young based on their face features? Even though, you know, the ones who have created the characters are stating that the characters are older. You know those characters, right? That look like kids, that look like teenagers. Rings a bell? I'm sure it does. In MMOs, in MOBAs, in all kinds of team games, as well as single player games, especially modern games, there are these kinds of characters. Either way, my point is that in many games, animated series, and whatever else, there's a plethora of female characters with formed adult bodies, implying that in a sense, they are relationship ready. Ready for sex. They're all ready. Only thing is that their faces are of teenagers and kids. Younger than 14 or 10 or even less in some situations. You name it. It's not that those who behave in a sus way towards these characters are the only supposed problem. Those that create these characters make them look presentable in a sexual manner, which you can't say is definitely a problem too. So this shit is not as simple as you idiots make it out to be. Oh, wait a minute. Remember also all those motherfuckers out there who are, in modern times, in recent years, are consuming VTuber content with these kinds of characters? Remember those? Remember those people? Probably some of those people are exactly those people who are dogpiling on LACARI. Man. Anyway, what some of you clowns are basically saying, because some of you haven't watched these kinds of characters and some jailbait characters performing sexual acts, I presume, what you're saying is that you sexualizing these characters that have adult bodies, but teen or kid faces, and you sexualizing all kinds of lolly characters and the like, not mentioning furry content, that is all fine, right? But this person, in this case LACARI, who watched them fuck or choked his goose to death, he should be condemned. Based on your arbitrary standards, he should be condemned for something that most of you, if not all of you, either thought about and or did yourselves. So you, clowns, doing it is fine, right? Although based on your accusations and what you claim is morally right, it is not fine at all. The fact that governments allow any of these games to be played, or these animated shows to be watched, or all kinds of other jailbait content to exist, does put things into perspective, doesn't it? Not to mention the existence of all kinds of porn online, insane amount of all kinds of degenerate categories for all of you degens out there. But hey, if we get back to the subject matter, you guys are the ones with the claims. You yap about the shit as if that's the objective truth, as if any of you know what the fuck you're on about. Listen, in that case, it's only natural for you to be as blasted. Deserved. Next thing you know, you clowns are going to criticize those guys who are going for girls that have youngster face features. And there are women out there that look that way. Or you're going to be after those guys who are big or tall and they go for women that are practically dwarf size or just much smaller than them. You lot know why guys go for younger girls than them. Or why girls go for guys who are older than them. Jailbait is jailbait exactly because jailbait looks ready in many cases is ready despite our laws. Look up jailbait. Look up also the dynamic between animals of opposite gender. I'm not sure they have like some kind of rules about age. I'm not saying we don't need those rules. I'm just saying that you misunderstand human behavior. You don't fucking get it. But actually, you don't even want to look up anything, especially not about animals. You don't want to because you think, a lot of you idiots think, that you are superior to animals. Anyone who's believing that that's might as well be shark food, for all I care. Anyways, just FYI, you clowns, all that is purely psychological. If you want to get into the psychology of why any of you like or are attracted to some person, we can, of course, go into that psychology. But fact is, it is better not to know why do you like someone or attracted to someone. Either way, the situation is this. If you want to punish people for all kinds of things they do, you can, of course, you can. You can do that. And I know you will, in your own expert way. But try this for a change. Apply the same fucking standards to your own self and to your friends and family and everyone you know and like and are in contact with. See what comes up. Write it all down. Who and how behaves, who says what, who jokes how and about what. Have fun with it, man. Either way, that's the problem with you clowns, especially with popular streamers yapping online. Especially those that bring up the fact that what they say on their streams has bigger consequences, but still somehow they continue to yap. Your standards, that's exactly what I want to say. Your standards are arbitrary. They're subjective. You're subjective. You can say the same about me, sure, but you're the ones with the claims and accusations, which are not just your opinions. That's the thing. Those are actual claims of objectivity, as if you know for sure what's up. So it's fair, in a sense, for you to be judged based on your supposedly objective claims. How you idiots understand what pedophilia is? That's problematic. You accusing people and labeling people pedophiles left and right is problematic, amongst all your other shorthand accusations. The fact that you idiots can yap like this online, or anyone for that matter, without long lasting consequences is problematic too. It's beyond obnoxious, in another realm entirely of obnoxious, actually. Anyhow, if anyone wants to talk about the definition of pedophilia, I'm all ears. I'm here. But I'm also going to talk about you, who you are, and what you do, and how you behave. And let's be honest, you're just gonna bury yourself deeper in your shit fucking hole. Because most of you clowns, you didn't go by definition when you pointed fingers. Instead, you've made your decisions based on your subjective understanding. Is pedophilia a disorder? I don't know. But we can talk about that. You might learn something well worth for a change. The knowledge that you disgusting human beings claim to have is worthless, surface level heap of burning diaper trash. You barely understand a thing about your own damn selves, let alone about other human beings. Same goes for those supposed professionals you turn to for answers. Most of the professionals out there equate to those people who smell their own goddamn farts. They're as much clueless as you idiots are, which I can, at any point in time of day, prove. Because again, same as you, they're the ones with the claims of objectivity. Charlatans. Man, the level of cope and delusion you human beings have about the shit you claim, that you supposedly understand, that is some top tier satire material. You jackals. Anyways, back to LACARI. If anything, put this into perspective. Other streamers, his friends, and all kinds of people in general for probably already a decade knew or saw that LACARI is into jailbait and or Loli material. Which is just a part of the story anyways, because it's not like he doesn't like all kinds of women. That's the thing. So the fact that many people, especially that were close to this guy, bailed on him, some even jump on their favorite bandwagon of guess who's a pedophile, consider how long they've known LACARI and what kind of games he plays. They claim that they haven't known, but they make that claim only because their accusations don't fit the actual situation. They did know LACARI. Loli content was the norm for them. Sexualizing teens in all kinds of games and whatnot was the norm for them too. Either way, talk about actual cockroaches, whose standards vary as the weather shifts. Furthermore, whether it's that big of a step to go from sexualizing jailbait or teen characters and such, in anime or wherever else, to actually watching the characters fuck and or jerking off to these characters fucking? No. It's not that big of a step. But it is a big of a step. And it is a pretty far reach or an oversight to claim as if that is the same as being an actual pedophile, doing sexual shit to kids. You guys claiming all this shit, it's as if this path that LACARI was walking on leads only to being a pedophile. That's exactly as if you have caught him and that's exactly what he is, and there was no way he was gonna be anything else. People are not what most of you motherfuckers claim them to be. Nothing is as simple as you claim it to be. It is never as simple as if this person has done this action, then that means whatever I think it means, and it doesn't mean anything else. Yeah, I'm right about this, This person has definitely done this for these reasons, and he is like this awful person. Either way, thank God that the human world is not completely comprised of people whose deductive skills are not as straightforward and simplistic as yours, you absolute fucking noobs. Either ways, cheers, you shitters, stay safe, and good luck. You'll need it, because going by how dumb you are, you're probably one staircase away from breaking your neck. Also, post scriptum, suck my dick.